Hope things are going well. I thought I would just do a little bit of a, discussion, a couple of things that came to mind today, and that is the subject of perception, human perception, and entertaining the idea of where this comes from. So, I don't know if any of us have given it much thought, but human perception is nothing more than conditioning that we've had since we've been very small. I don't know about other countries, but when you grow up in the United States, it's you begin at kindergarten. It's something like 4 or 5 years old or something, and we go, and the teacher will show us, and the ABCs, 26 letters of the alphabet, right? And we sing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, everybody, and we learn these things. Later on we go on with our schooling, and we learn to spell. And by the way, we usually have flashcards, or take home the words and have somebody help us learn how to spell these words, whether it be our parents or a friend or whatever. And then we go back and take the spelling test, and we're also conditioned to do it correctly the first time. And if not, then we don't do quite as well as we expected. When I went to school, I'm old school, I guess you might say. We did have A's, B's, C's, D's, and F's back in the day. I'm told that they don't even have that anymore. But in other words, you were somewhat mentally punished for not doing it correctly the first time. So anyways, this conditioning continues to go on through life, and we get more and more advanced in what we cram into our head, and we are told what to think and how to think. And as far as free thinkers, normally they're shunned or in this society not looked upon as being very wise, you might say. Of course, we're taught that the best thing to do is to learn as much as you can, so you can get a good job working for a good company to make good money, have a good life, have the house, the wife or the husband, the picket fence, the dog, and so forth, the family, and live happy ever after. But when we go through life, we see that, it doesn't necessarily work out the way we think it should. And we end up learning that, or realizing, I might say, that everything that we've been taught, actually we've given the meaning it has. We've allowed these meanings to be our reality without even questioning any of it. Ever think of that? I mean, we don't even question what we've been taught, and society tells us what to think, and we believe what's right and wrong based on what society has accepted or not accepted, and eventually we come to the place that something is wrong. What is it that's wrong? I mean, we become a seeker perhaps, or we've gone through a lot of pain and suffering through our life. Most of the time that's the case. Most of us, or what seems to be us, you might say, have to lose it all before we begin to realize that something's really up with this thing. And so we begin to question. And some people believe that questioning is not a good thing. I would definitely disagree with that wholeheartedly. Questioning reality is probably one of the best things you can do. Now, I will say this, it's not the most popular thing. In fact, other people, including your family and other loved ones, may think you're absolutely out of your mind. In one case I say, thank God. It's out of our mind that we want to be, in fact. But anyways, looking at this whole thing, we begin to, I guess, go on a journey to find ourselves, or whatever you call it, enlightenment. We seem to be a seeker of enlightenment, which, by the way, does not work. I mean, the end of seeking is knowing that every single thing that you tried didn't work, and then most of the time we think that more learning is the answer, and it is not. In fact, it is this conditioning and learning that we have that actually has created the world that we seem to live in. Now that may seem like a big stretch, but just theoretically thinking about it, if all is one and all is mind, or perfect mind, perfect wisdom, perfect understanding, perfect love, perfect joy, and so forth, then this mind, M-I-N-D capital, you might say, capital M-I-N-D, is very powerful. In fact, it's so powerful that it creates our so-called reality. The problem is, if you have 7 or 8 billion or more people creating different things from themselves in a world or society that basically, well, let's face it, looks down on togetherness and typically favors individualism. Everybody must be something that they need to be. There's doctors and lawyers and, and then there's homeless, and then there's people that work with computers, and there's so forth. There's different careers all over the place, people that you get my point. Different careers for different people. Oh, you must find what you love to do and do it. And that can be helpful. Actually, following what you love can be a way out, so to speak, and get you away from the idea of trading time for money because it's something you enjoy. However, it's still not the answer. So, what is the answer? The answer is simply this: just undoing what we've been taught. What do I mean by that? Undoing what we've been taught. Well, because it has to do with thoughts and ideas and conditioning, by not allowing that conditioning that we have to affect us in any way, we could begin to loosen from the strength that it has in our mind and begin to prepare ourselves to actually have that one epiphany, or some people might say the twinkling of an eye, or immediate Bodhi nature, or a trip from samsara being done and over with, or getting over Maya, or there's different spiritual ideas that convey this idea of this illusional world and how we supposedly get out of it. Of course, many of the world religions, though they're helpful and many times become our beginning, unfortunately don't have all the answers. No religion has all the answers, and eventually we find out that we must get above religion in order to find this truth. So anyways, I think that's probably enough for now. I just felt to get this off my chest, kind of follow how I felt, and just say a few words. So thank you for listening. I appreciate it, and have yourself a good one. And until next time, ciao.